This is CBN NewsWatch.
Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Ephraim Graham. Turkey's economy and its currency are falling apart, and Turkey is blaming the United States as relations between the two countries get worse. Some experts are worried that the U.S. will lose Turkey as an ally, while others say we've already have. Dale Hurd's got the story.
With Turkey's currency crashing, the government's response has been to blame outsiders and double down on bad economic policy that's only making it worse. The Turkish lira had lost almost half its value against the dollar this year before recovering slightly overnight, and there are already signs it's dragging down markets in Europe and Asia. The crisis accelerated last Friday after President Trump promised to double tariffs on Turkish exports because of Turkey's continued imprisonment of American pastor Andrew Brunson. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said his nation is under siege. Today he announced a boycott of U.S. electronics. Turks who have seen their buying power cut in half are worried. This man says, "For real, right now we think about the U.S. dollar when we go to sleep and when we get up." Making matters worse, President Erdogan has ruled out the possibility of higher interest rates, which is exactly what many economists say is needed.
So structural problems plus problems with U.S. all came together and created a perfect storm.
Erdogan now wants to arrest so-called economic terrorists on social media. That's anyone who says negative things about the economy. Some say Turkey is already a de facto dictatorship, and by virtue of its location, sitting between the Middle East and Europe, it's one of the most strategically important nations in the world. There's concern it may turn its back on the U.S. and NATO and become an ally of Russia or China. Foreign policy analyst Dr. Christopher Hull believes it's already happened.
Erdogan himself is proving that he's hostile to America, he's hostile to the West, he's hostile to our values. He is much too closely aligned with the global jihad movement. He's creating an Islamic state.
And no matter what happens to the economy, Turkish journalist Abdullah Bozkurt says Erdogan will never leave office because he would lose immunity to prosecution in two corruption scandals.
He's afraid of those, investigation be opened against him. So he'll be looking at huge legal troubles.
So Turkish citizens are in for a rough ride as a combative Erdogan clings to power, takes swings at the United States, and the Turkish currency continues to crash. Dale Hurd, CBN News.
Here now is a look at some of the other major headlines we're following for you today inside the CBN newsroom. Officials in London are investigating after a motorist crashed into pedestrians and cyclists near the Westminster Bridge. 2 people were injured, but authorities say none were life-threatening. Eyewitnesses say the crash looked intentional as the car was being driven at a high rate of speed before barreling into security barriers outside the Houses of Parliament. Police arrested 1 suspect but have not confirmed a motive. London has had 4 vehicle-based terror attacks in less than 18 months. 4 states are hosting primary elections today as Democrats hope to topple Republican control of the House of Representatives. But President Trump's appeal to the working-class voters has the GOP hoping to tip the scales for Republicans in Wisconsin and Minnesota. A switch to Republican would change decades-long political trends in the 2 usually Democratic states. Voting is also happening today in Vermont and Connecticut. Authorities in Northern California say a Utah firefighter has died battling the largest recorded blaze in the state's history. The man was injured at the site of the Mendocino complex fire north of San Francisco. Authorities say he died Monday night at a hospital. No further details have been released. More than 14,000 firefighters are battling blazes across the state of California. For more on these stories and others throughout the day, you can always visit cbnnews.com. FBI agent Peter Strzok was fired Monday, and that has President Trump going on the offensive again against Special Counsel Robert Mueller's Russia investigation, pushing him to bring it to a close. Our national security correspondent Eric Rosales has this story.
President Trump praised the FBI Monday following its firing of FBI agent Peter Strzok. The president also tweeted out that the investigation into any potential collusion with Russia should end. The president tweeted the list of bad players in the FBI and DOJ gets longer and longer based on the fact that Strzok was in charge of the witch hunt. Will it be dropped?
It's a significant body blow to the Mueller investigation, because in my view there would be no Mueller investigation but for the actions of Peter Strzok.
Judicial Watch President Tom Fitton says investigators were too biased against President Trump to conduct a credible investigation, and it must end immediately.
There comes a time where you got to put up or shut up. There's been no collusion between the Trump campaign and the Russians. There's nothing to suggest that he has anything there. So what else is there to be investigating? I don't know.
Strzok was let go for violating agency procedures. An internal agency review recommended suspension and demotion, but not termination, after Strzok sent anti-Trump text messages to his then lover and FBI attorney Lisa Page. It initially led to his dismissal from the Russia probe and then cast a doubt on the investigation and the FBI itself.
When the IG said that Peter Strzok and other FBI agents showed extremely bad judgment and a gross lack of professionalism. You cannot have a gross lack of professionalism at the FBI.
Strzok's lawyer says his client's termination is due to political pressure, stating this decision should be deeply troubling to all Americans. It's a decision that produces only one winner: those who seek to harm our country and weaken our democracy. Strzok is the second person fired behind Andrew McCabe as a result of the Inspector General's investigation. The president's attorneys want Mueller's Russia investigation to wrap up in early September, and this could give them the ammunition they need. Eric Rosales, CBN News, Washington.
The FBI is warning banks to guard against possible attacks on ATMs. The blog Krebs on Security reports a network of cybercriminals are plotting a global scheme called ATM Cash Out. That's where hackers break into a bank or payment card processor and use fake cards to withdraw millions from around the world. Krebs cites a confidential FBI alert that the scheme could be carried out in the coming days. Coming up, Israeli firefighters have been taking on fires caused by terror attacks. The fires have burned more than a wide area of land. Now the Israeli firefighters are getting some help from Americans. We'll have that story for you. It's coming up after this. For months, Israeli firefighters have battled arson fires caused by some 1,200 terror attacks. The fires have burned more than 7,500 acres of farmland and nature. Now American volunteers are fighting the flames alongside them. CBN's John Wagi brings us that story from the area near the border between Israel and Gaza.
Palestinian terrorists are using balloons and kites combined with a summer wind to carry their fire from Gaza to Israel. We found this piece of kite in a scorched field. Behind me in the tree are more pieces of the kite, and behind the tree is the Gaza Strip.
Some people can think it's like a toy, a children's toy, but it's a very deadly weapon, and we are fighting every day to prevent any achievement from this terrorist.
That's when the Emergency Volunteers Project, a U.S. organization dedicated to assisting Israel, stepped in to help.
Our firefighters have assisted putting out literally dozens of fires over the past week here in southern Israel.
Sponsored by the Jewish Federations of North America, spokesperson Eitan Charnoff says when the volunteers arrive, they're ready to go.
Our American volunteers are trained in advance about how to work here, not just in terms of what equipment is different, what tactics are different, what threats are different, but they're also taught the culture.
In February of 2017, I came on a trip to be trained. That way when we get here in a deployment, they don't have to take time to train me. I get off the airplane and I go to work.
Corey Ray and Aston Bright are both American firefighters.
Firefighting, there's a universal language to it. You pull a hose and you spray the water on the fire. You pull an axe and you cut something. Firefighters, we like to break things, so it's universal.
But some things are different, like fighting fire while under fire.
This is actually an armor-plated, bulletproof fire engine. It's the first time I've ever been on a fire engine quite like this, but that's necessary because we are so close to the Gaza border.
Ray and Bright, both Christians, say their faith played a part in their decision.
I can't build houses, I'm not a doctor, but I can put out fires, and so that's how I serve. As a believer, the Bible says to be a friend of Israel, and the Jews are the chosen people, and so I felt led to serve in some way, and that's all I know how to do.
Shmulik Friedman, an Israeli Fire Service commander, said working with Americans is about more than fighting fires.
It's much more than 10 firefighters because it's the spirit of the brotherhood between our two nations.
We have to protect the state of Israel and the Jewish people, and the United States is here in this fight with them, and we're glad to be here.
John Wagi, CBN News, near the Gaza-Israeli border.
Still ahead, a look at how the presidential retreat of Camp David became a special place for President Ronald Reagan and his wife Nancy, right up to the end of the Reagan era. We've got that story for you, and it's coming up next. It's the hidden getaway where presidents have found rest and refreshment for decades. Camp David serves as our commanders-in-chiefs as both a weekend retreat and important business center. As CBN's Amber Strong found out, for President Ronald Reagan and his wife Nancy, the hidden cabin in the Maryland mountains was also much more.
The elusive and somewhat mysterious Camp David has played double duty for more than a dozen U.S. presidents. From hosting foreign dignitaries in a relaxed setting to serving as nerve center for major policy decisions. And for former Reagan Press Secretary Mark Weinberg, a home away from home.
On Friday afternoons, we would get on the helicopter on the south lawn of the White House. The president would wave to everybody and then disappear, essentially for 48 hours.
In his book, Movie Nights with the Reagans, Weinberg fondly recalls those weekend getaways at Camp David.
Abandon ship! Open all deck hatches!
An actor himself, those movie nights at Aspen Lodge allowed the president to relive his years on the silver screen. The Reagans viewed hundreds of films during their time at Camp David, from Guess Who's Coming to Dinner to Crocodile Dundee.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
Sometimes the art imitated life, like the aftermath of Rocky IV.
And this was at the time that, the Cold War was really heating up, to use a phrase. So it did have an influence. And at one point, the Russians, the Soviets, told the Americans, complained to American diplomats about Rocky IV. They said, why, you shouldn't show that. That's not a good movie to show. The president told us this. The American diplomat said to the Soviets, well, we don't have anything to do with that. In our country, the government doesn't control the movies, and they couldn't understand that.
Sometimes the movies influenced platforms. Case in point, the 1980 film 9 to 5.
Because there was a scene with Dolly Parton and Jane Fonda and I believe Lily Tomlin smoking marijuana. And you have to remember, this was the 80s. It was illegal back then. And this movie glamorized it, and he thought that was a terrible message to send to young people. And Mrs. Reagan was so bothered by it that she called them out on it in a speech.
That iconic scene pushed the First Lady further into her anti-drug agenda, and those famous 3 words.
Just say no.
Weinberg says despite the media's narrative of a cold First Lady, those moments gave him a glimpse into the relationship between Nancy and her Ronnie.
She was very warm and welcoming. She took an interest in people. She listened when you were in the room. She was protective of her husband, as well she should have been.
While the Reagans loved their privacy, that didn't stop the press from going to great lengths to catch a glimpse of the president.
They took the lens that they used for the space shuttle, the biggest lens that CBS owned. They brought them out there so they could get the president riding on this horse, this wavy figure in the heat, and he knew it. And he said, I'm going to have some fun with them. And he did this and pretended to fall off the horse.
Weinberg fondly recalls Reagan's famous sense of humor, even with the media.
For our friends in the press who place a high premium on accuracy, let me say, I did not actually hear George Washington say that.
While Mrs. Reagan usually decided which film to review, Mr. Reagan found a particular love of An Extraterrestrial and his best friend, Elliot.
E.T. was a movie that touched both of their hearts. They had tears in their eyes at the end. It was a very wonderful story, a fantastic story in the literal sense of the word. And those kinds of themes of letting your imagination go wherever it could and believing in the impossible and wondering what was out there and wondering what the future could be, those were very Reagan-esque themes.
Even after the credits rolled on the Reagans' time in the White House, those weekend getaways forged a friendship that would last until the end.
And I told him that I was considering leaving the staff after having been there 10 years, that it was time for me to move on. And he said, well, I understand. You're a young man. I expect you to do that. And by the way, Mark, I'm not going to be here forever. Well, I knew what he meant, but I didn't want to acknowledge that.
Still, Weinberg says Reagan was at peace with this life and the next.
He said, Mark, it's okay. I'm not afraid of that. And in fact, I look forward to it. Because he knew that God had a plan for him and that he lived a life on earth and would be reunited with people after. And he was very grounded because of his faith.
Amber Strong, CBN News, Washington.
Up next, a new exhibit at the Museum of the Bible in Washington looking at the personal side of the life of Billy Graham. We've got that story coming up right after this. Stay with us. A new exhibit honoring Billy Graham provides a rare look into his personal life. Our John Jessup takes us to Washington's Museum of the Bible for a closer look at the relationship between America's pastor and the gospel he proclaimed.
Through giant pictures and quotes, the presence of Billy Graham looms large here, much like in his life. Now, months after his death, this exhibit brings a more intimate image into focus. Books, Bibles, and other belongings display the pilgrim preacher's journey from a young boy to a man who reached millions, including this exhibit's designer, Anthony Schmidt.
This one is from his revival campaign in New York City.
He remembers watching Graham on TV with his parents and even attended Graham's last crusade.
Very early on, he embraced technology and media, and that's what set him apart.
For more than 60 years, Graham used radio, television, film, and mass crusades to teach from the Holy Scriptures.
We really wanted to explore how Graham understood and interpreted the Bible, and then how that shaped his ministry.
From now through January, the exhibit contains never-before-seen items from the Billy Graham Library. You can see everything from class notes taken in Bible school to personal message written to his mom and dad, and even a pair of war-issue military boots he wore in Korea in 1952. The exhibit also highlights his impact on culture and politics.
He was the prayer warrior in the family.
Earlier this year, Graham's son and ministry successor told CBN News, despite his father's prominence, he always understood his calling.
My father never wanted to be a celebrity, and maybe that's why God used him.
This is Billy Graham's personal New Testament Bible. Now, throughout his ministry, Billy Graham just wanted to be known as a preacher of the gospel of Jesus Christ, which is on his tombstone in North Carolina. Throughout this exhibit, you'll see artifacts and images that reinforce just how important the Bible was from the beginning of his ministry to the end, to the sermon that was preached at his funeral.
Billy Graham at the world's...
John Jessup, CBN News, Washington.
Megachurch Pastor Rick Warren announced a major milestone for his California church over the weekend. Members of Saddleback Church in Lake Forest, California watched the baptism of the church's 50,000th person. That means 50,000 lives changed since the church opened its doors 38 years ago. In celebration, staff held baptisms at each one of their 16 locations after every service this weekend. Right now it is time for your Tuesday Tweetable, and here's a thought to consider in this age of social media. Not all friend requests are true requests for friendship. Some are superficial, unfruitful, and unnecessary connections. With that word, I encourage you to make this a terrific Tuesday and make yourself a true friend indeed. That is going to do it for this edition of CBN NewsWatch. Remember that you can find more of our exclusive coverage of the issues you care most about always at cbnnews.com. And we would love to know what you think about the stories you've seen here today. You can begin doing that by emailing newswatch@cbn.com. And of course, you can always reach out and touch us on Facebook, Twitter, as well as Instagram. While this concludes this newscast, remember the news continues 24/7 at cbnnews.com. We look forward to seeing you there. Thank you so much for your company today. We'll see you right back here same time tomorrow. Goodbye, everybody, and God bless.